The US is sanctioning people for doing their jobs.
On the sanctions list are included organizations like ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and now we have 8 ICC judges, 3 ICC prosecutors, 1 UN independent expert, and 4 Palestinian human rights organizations.
They investigate and educate war crimes, genocide, and crimes against humanity.
Just to give an example, the UN Special Rapporteur Francesca Albanese, who is an Italian national, has been unable to open a bank account in Italy, in the Netherlands, and in Switzerland, and she remains up until today unbanked. ICC prosecutor Karim Khan had all of his accounts in the UK frozen.
The US is not even a member of this court yet. Washington issued an executive order, and judges and prosecutors in the Netherlands have felt the impact on their personal lives and can't access their bank accounts. Because when the US puts your name on a sanction list, your bank account freezes, you face difficulties booking flights and hotels, and Palestinian human rights organizations like Al-Haq, PCHR, and Al-Dhamir lost funds, staff, and access to accounts owned by US companies, including their YouTube channel to which they had uploaded evidence. US and dual nationals on staff were forced to resign within days, as continuing to work at these right organizations made them personally criminally liable under US law.
2 procedures actually were taken locally by the Israeli authorities against us. And we believed at that time as well what triggered Gantz to really take the decision so urgently, the fact that we discovered as NGOs that the Israeli authorities are using the Pegasus program, the cyber security program, against us as NGOs, especially Dhamir and Al-Haq. And we were planning to do a press release to go publicly about this fact. And a day before our planned press release, Gantz took the decision to declare us terrorist organizations. All the efforts to silence us and to affect our work didn't work, actually, and this is why they went to the United States.
Al-Dhamir, which documents Palestinian prisoner abuse, had its bank account frozen in less than 8 hours.
Especially after the genocide in Gaza in 2023, our work on the issue of the prisoners became very essential to disclose the serious crimes that were committed against the prisoners, including the sexual harassment, the rape, the torture, the killing of prisoners under torture, and health neglect that caused the death of several detainees.
But why is the US doing this? The ICC issued arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant for war crimes and crimes against humanity in Gaza.
The US is using unilateral sanctions, and it's using the structural dependency of the entire world on their banking and financial system in order to ensure that no accountability ever happens for crimes committed either by the US or Israeli nationals.
The Afghanistan investigation is the origin of all of this. The ICC was investigating crimes committed during the war in Afghanistan, including by US armed forces and the CIA. That is what triggered the first round of sanctions back in 2020, under Trump's first term. The ICC prosecutor at the time, Fatou Bensouda, was personally sanctioned for investigating US personnel. Both Afghanistan and the State of Palestine are ICC members. That means that the ICC has a jurisdiction over crimes committed on their territory, regardless of who committed them. US and Israeli nationals can be investigated.
We saw how the reaction of these European countries were toward the case of the genocide when South Africa submitted the case. Almost most of them, they were opposing this case, and just in a later, very late stage, they started to join the case. Not all of them reacted. And this is what I mean by the double standard behave toward international law and weaponizing actually the same system in order to affect our efforts to reach justice and put obstacles in the work of the Palestinian lawyers, civil society, and so on. Because In other situations, their positions, their political decisions were totally different. They were very supportive for this same legal system, legal standards that we're trying to activate.
The EU could protect the court from the impact of sanctions by activating the blocking statute, as several European presidents have urged the Commission to do.
States created the International Criminal Court, and it's for states to protect the International Criminal Court and to protect every organization and every actor that cooperates with the court and supports the work of the court. So when states fail to protect Palestinian human rights organizations from the impact of sanctions, it also sends a very negative message to civil society actors across the world that if they get designated, they will not receive support from states.